We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world. We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Hardcore Issue 1. This is a 2018 series from Image Comics and Skybound Entertainment. Hardcore was created by Robert Kirkman and Mark Silvestri, and the story was by Robert Kirkman and Andy Diggle, but Andy Diggle did the actual script. Alejandro Vitti did the art, Adriano Lucas was the colorist, Thomas Maurer was letterer, Dan Panosian did the cover, John Moisen did the editing. The art is interesting because it's very heavy line work, which can be really good or could be really bad, but it kind of works here, and let me explain why. The concept here is this is a secret government organization called Hardcore, and this guy, Agent Drake, he's classified as a drone operator, and he kind of is, because what they do is their team targets someone and it fires an injectable nanite thing into them that lets the team override the person's consciousness by putting in Agent Drake's, and he's in this like little pod thing. He basically does assassinations and stuff like that on people that are threats to the government, that sort of thing. Extra military operations or something like that. He's this kind of like top-notch guy, and we get to learn a little bit about him. He seems like a pretty upstanding guy, pretty straightforward patriot. Now, things go horribly, horribly wrong for him. And at the end, we have a massive twist ending, which I really don't want to explain, even though I kind of need to explain why you should get the book. But he's got 72 hours to get back to where he needs to be. I'm gonna put it like that. This book was great. It was action, story, action. Lots of intrigue, spy stuff, really cool fight scene, like they can shut off the pain receptors of the person whose body he's inhabiting, and it's kind of a semi-quantum leap sort of thing. Apparently he can pull himself out of the body if he wants to and jump his consciousness back into his pod, or the support team could do it for him. That's the impression I'm getting anyway. I know the support team can do it. Anyway, this was a great book. The art really works for it. It's kind of a gritty look to it, but it's really well done. If you like heavy line work, lots of penciling, it's really good for that. And there's some digital tracing, but it's not as heavy-handed as you're used to seeing in modern comics. And boy, this story was a lot of fun. I didn't think I was going to like this book. I bought it on a whim with Livewire, and Livewire was nowhere near this book. This book was fantastic, and I am excited to read the next issue, which is rare for an Image comic, but this is a must-get. If you get a chance to pick it up, definitely do so. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Is it worth the cover price? I don't know. I don't find many books worth $4, but I don't feel cheated for it. I would definitely say pick it up and enjoy it. It's very violent, and there is some swearing, but if you want an action book, this is a good one to go to. But that's just my take on it. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss future reviews, and we hope to see you on the next one.
We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Hardcore Issue 2 from Image Comics. Hardcore was created by Robert Kirkman and Mark Silvestri. Script was by Andy Diggle. Alejandro Vitti was the artist. Adriano Lucas colorist. Thomas Maurer letterer. Dan Panosian cover. John Moisen editor. Now the cover is kind of cool, but it doesn't really convey what you're going to see in this book. See, we got this guy who's trapped inside of another person's mind. His mind is in two places. One is inside of Esteban, who is a colonel in like either a corrupt government or a drug operation. I'm pretty sure it's a drug operation with military hardware. But he's trapped in this body, and his physical body is in this little pod inside of a installation. Now, the installation has been hijacked by the creator of the system that he's using, which is called Hardcore. And since the guy's trapped in this capsule thing, they're going to try and cut him out and kill him. So he's got to get back to his body before they do that. And the result is a high-octane action thriller. If they don't make this into a movie, I'm going to be completely appalled, because it had everything. There's an awesome car chase scene, drug lords with guns and helicopters, everything you could ask for. There's a nuclear weapon in play that the bad guys are after. It's just non-stop action. This was an awesome comic book. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, is it a little light on plot? Sure. But you know what? I didn't care one bit. I thought it was fantastic. The art's pretty solid. It's very pencil heavy work. If you don't like heavy shading with pencils, you're probably not going to like it, but I did like it. It's not the style of art I normally like, but for an action book, it worked really well, and I was really impressed with that. It's got some great perspective shots, awesome chase sequence. It's mostly a chase scene issue, but it really worked, and it made me want to pick up issue 3. Yeah, they are probably writing toward the trade, but it really worked. I am looking forward to issue 3. I will probably buy the trade paperback if it has a good payoff, and I think this is going to be a really fun series if they keep it up the way they have been. Andy Diggle did a great job. The artist, whose name I can barely pronounce, did a great job. This is all around a fun book, and Marvel would do well to take a page out of this playbook and do more books like this. This was how you do action. This is how you do comics. It's a fun ride. I highly recommend it. If you get a chance to pick this up, pick it up. Grab issue 1 while you're there if you can. It does recap you enough to kind of let you enjoy this issue, because this is mostly an action issue, but you'll get enough to work with if you don't have issue 1. So don't feel too bad jumping in the middle of this. But I cannot praise this issue enough. It was a lot of fun. So this is a high recommendation. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you get a chance to grab it, definitely do so. Put that Marvel book back and grab this. This is a comic book. But that's just my opinion. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you want to help the channel in other ways, links are in the description and on the About page, and we hope to see you on the next one.
We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Hardcore Issue 3. This is the 2018 series from Image and Skybound Entertainment, created by Robert Kirkman and Mark Silvestri. Script by Andy Diggle, Alejandro Vitti, artist, Adriano Lucas, colorist, Thomas Maurer, letterer, Dan Panosian, cover, John Mosian, editor. Overall, I like the cover, but it's a little weird looking. Like, people's faces look almost demonic, and it doesn't really do the interior art justice. The interior art is much more heavy line penciling, which generally I don't like, but it really works here. It gives it kind of this atmospheric grittiness that it really does need for this kind of book. Esteban, well, more aptly Agent Drake in Esteban's body, is trying to get back to Agent Drake's body stateside, and that means he's got to find a ride out of town. He's only got 72 hours before his body breaks down, remember. So his idea is to hook up with the sniper team that put the hardcore implant in Esteban, and they are just getting ready to get extracted. So clearly he needs to do something to win them over and get to the extraction point with them, but nothing is going according to plan. The president and his consultation team think that Drake's been compromised, and Drake's opponents know that he's on the way because they can see through his eyes. Nothing is going well, and the nuke is still in play. So this gets all kinds of crazy really fast. It is very fast paced, lots of action, high adrenaline, high octane. This would make a fantastic movie. Andy Diggle did a phenomenal job with this book. His writing is fantastic. The art is good. It fits the theme. Overall, it's not generally my style of art, but it does work here. And I gotta tell you, the ending was massive cliffhanger, and I am excited to read issue 4. It just came out the other day. So all around, a great book. I highly recommend checking it out. Don't wait for the trade. Get the floppies. It's worth every cent of the cover price. It's a fast read, but it is really, really good. It is a very violent book. There is a lot of gunplay and explosions, but boy, if you like hardcore adventure, this is the book for you, and it's even named Hardcore. Definitely worth the money. I am really looking forward to the next issue. I hope this becomes an ongoing series because this has the hallmarks of a great franchise, and I hope Andy Diggle panel really brings it all home too, and makes this storyline round out as well as it started, because this is a very fun ride so far. So great job to the entire creative team. The colors really pop, the art's solid for the style that it's in, and the writing is fantastic. So give it a shot, see what you think. I cannot praise the first 3 issues enough. It's been great so far. But that's just my opinion. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. And if you want to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description and on the About page. Any help is greatly appreciated, and we hope to see you on the next one.
We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Hardcore, Issue 4. This is from Image and Skybound Entertainment. Hardcore was created by Robert Kirkman and Mark Silvestri. The script is by Andy Diggle, art by Alejandro Vitti. Colorist was Adriano Lucas, art by Alessandro Vitti. I'm sure I butchered that, sorry. Colorist was Adriano Lucas. Thomas Maurer was the letterer. The cover is by Dan Panosian, John Moisen, editor. Now, again, the cover's kind of a neat concept, but this doesn't really appear in here, so I don't know what it means, but whatever. Meanwhile, okay, so Agent Drake has to get back to the US. Unfortunately, that means getting smuggled into the US, because after what happened with that nuke, pretty much all the planes are grounded, or at least the skies are heavily monitored. So he's got to fly in under the radar, and that means acquiring a plane. Well, that goes really badly, but he still manages to get back to the States. I'm not going to tell you how, you got to read the book. Things are not looking good. What's left of the U.S. Defense Operations Agency is really kind of just stuck out in a van outside trying to figure out what to do. They've got the area cordoned off, and Marcus has everything locked down, and he is basically trying to blackmail them. But Drake's not about to give up so easily, and oh boy, it just goes crazy. There is a cliffhanger ending to this. They find a pretty crafty way to keep Marcus from seeing what they're doing, because he can see through Drake's eyes. They have to be a little bit more cunning, and it's pretty funny. But Drake only has 2 hours to get back to his body before it dies. So he's got to go into the building, and he knows Marcus is going to be more than happy to let him in. And he does something really crazy for a cliffhanger ending. This is such a fun book. Seriously, it needs to be made into a movie. I really hope this is an ongoing series and that Andy Diggle can keep this up, because this is phenomenal work. This is easily in my top 5 books every month now for the past 4 months. So if you get a chance, definitely pick it up. I know it's coming out in trade paperback in June, I believe it was. I saw the listing on Amazon, so if you don't have a comic book store near you, in a couple months it'll be out in trade and you'll be able to pick it up then. But I really hope the payoff is good, because it's looking like it will be. So far, this book has not let me down, and the art is great for the style. It really portrays the drama and grit of it well, and I cannot praise this book enough. But that's just my take on it. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future reviews, and we hope to see you on the next one.
We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Hardcore, Issue 5 from Image Comics. This is a 2018 miniseries written by Andy Diggle, Alejandro Vitti, artist, Adriano Lucas, colorist, Thomas Maurer, letterer, Dan Panosian, cover. I do like the cover, but it doesn't really give you as much of an insight into the series as the other covers did, and it's a little weaker in my opinion. John Moisen was the editor. Alright, so Drake has made it to the building with a bomb strapped to his chest, and he uses some rather cunning technique before initiating superhuman violence, like every action star ever. This is just non-stop going. Bare knuckle brawls, gunplay, explosions, you name it. It's got a crazy twist ending that is just amazing. This would make such a cool movie. This was easily one of the best series to come out of 2018. Andy Diggle really knocked it out of the park. This issue is just as action-packed as the other issues, and probably one of the more satisfying endings to a mini miniseries I've seen in a long time. Leaves off with a bit of a cliffhanger that will get you to want to buy the next time they do a miniseries, which they better do. So I'm excited to recommend this. This book was fantastic. The art is solid. It's got kind of this heavy line pencil work that really works well for an action story. It's not an art style that I would traditionally enjoy, but it really worked well here, mostly because the artist has some talent. Alejandro Vitti, I would look forward to looking at more of his work, especially with an action book like this, or maybe some superhero stuff, you know, something that not from the big two. But this was a great book. This miniseries was non-stop action, a great adventure story. If you like action books or action movies, this is a good comic for you. It is definitely adult material. There is blood and death and swearing and all that fun stuff, but it's definitely a good time. So if you get a chance to pick this up in trade paperback or the individual issues, I would definitely recommend it. This was fantastic. But that's just my opinion. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing so you don't miss future reviews. If you want to help the channel in other ways, links are in the description and on the about page. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.